The movie revolves around a 15-year-old boy named Jimmy Grimble. He lives in Manchester with his mother, Donna, and goes to Greenock High School. Donna's a single mother who works at a taxi company to support the family. Meanwhile, Jimmy is obsessed with Manchester City, and he spends his free time practicing his football skills, hoping to make it to the football club one day. At school, Jimmy is a misfit, and he's constantly threatened by the school bully, Gordon Burley. The movie opens up with Donna returning home with her new boyfriend, Johnny. Johnny is a biker, and he tries to befriend Jimmy, but the latter acts cold and tells him that Donna actually hates bikes. The following day, Jimmy goes to his school, and there he carefully avoids Gordon and his bully friends who always wait for him at the entrance. During lunch, Jimmy notices a new girl named Sarah. He is instantly smitten, and for a change, the girl also smiles at him. However, he soon gets surrounded by Gordon and his bully friends. They throw his backpack on the ground and pee on it before finally leaving him alone. Later, Jimmy notices the school's football coach, Eric Worrell, putting up a notice for trials for the school's football team. After the coach leaves, Jimmy immediately hides the notice to keep other students from showing up for the trials to increase his odds of making it to the team. However, the plan fails and others, including Gordon and his friends, show up on the ground for selection. Fortunately, Jimmy makes it to the team as a substitute player, as the school only has 12 students interested in the game. The scene then cuts to a school board meeting where Gordon's father, Mr. Ken Burley, laments about the school not having won a single inter-school football cup in the last few years. He recalls his school days when he used to play, and the shelf was aglow with trophies. He offers to give the school $90,000 for the new sports center if the team makes it to the Manchester Cup finals. Back in the field, Gordon amazes everyone with his football skills until he uses it to knock Jimmy out. As a result, Coach Worrell kicks him out of the team. Later, Worrell is called into the principal's office, and he's ordered to reinstate Gordon in the team because of Burley's influence. The principal tells him that Gordon is the school's best player and they have to be practical. Meanwhile, on his way back home, Jimmy runs into Sarah. She tries to strike up a conversation, but Jimmy gets awkward and runs away. He then goes to his mom's workplace to share the good news, but she's occupied with work and tells him to go home as she'll be working late into the night. Unfortunately, he's confronted by Gordon outside his home. Yet again, Jimmy runs for his life, and an old woman gives him refuge in her dilapidated accommodation. There, an old pair of football shoes catches attention, and the woman offers them to him. Jimmy declines, saying he already has a pair, but she tells him that the shoes are special and it will help him improve his game. When she insists, Jimmy accepts the shoes, but he dumps them on his way back home. Later, he notices Donna's ex-boyfriend Harry trying to win her back, but she sends him away. It turns out Jimmy was actually good friends with Harry and they used to go to football games together. However, Donna broke up with him when it was revealed that the latter was already married. The following day, a group of girls pick on Sarah, but she quickly teaches them a lesson by punching the main bully in the face. Jimmy is impressed, and he admires her from a distance. Later, Jimmy and others assemble to leave for their first school cup match against Rockingham. However, Gordon isn't happy with Jimmy's inclusion in the team, so he throws his football kicks in a garbage truck. However, Jimmy refuses to give up, so he immediately rushes to retrieve the shoes the old woman gave the other day. The school bus almost leaves without Jimmy, but he manages to show up at the last second. The team eventually reaches their destination, and the game begins. Greenock High initially dominates the game, but Rockingham players start using dirty tactics to score goals. In the second half, Gordon gets injured, and Worrell sends Jimmy on the field to play defense. Jimmy is nervous, but something soon takes over him, and he ends up scoring a goal, winning the match for his team. Jimmy is amazed by his own performance, and after returning home, he visits the old woman to thank her for the shoes. He can tell that there's really something special about the shoes, and he asks her who it originally belonged to. The woman reveals that the shoes belong to a Manchester City player named Robbie Brewer. Jimmy looks up the player's name, but he doesn't find him mentioned anywhere in the club's programs. That night, Johnny also moves in with Jimmy and Donna. The following day, Sarah approaches Jimmy and commends him for his performance in the game. This time, Jimmy is more confident and he strikes up a conversation with her. Later that afternoon, Donna gives Johnny some money to take Jimmy to the Manchester City football game. However, at the stadium, Johnny is confronted by his loan sharks, and they seize his ticket money, warning him to return the rest of the money he owes by next week. Dejected, Jimmy returns home. Afterwards, Harry also arrives for the game and he buys a program from his blind friend Bob. The next day, Jimmy tells Sarah that he's going to Main Road, Manchester City's home stadium, to find out more about Robbie Brewer and asks her to accompany him. Later, the two are approached by Gordon. He again bullies Jimmy and inquires if he's dating Sarah. Gordon gets scared and denies having anything to do with her before walking away. This upsets Sarah and she breaks ties with Jimmy.